Hi, this is Humboldt Theories. In this video, I am covering SDG from 6 to 16. In my previous video, I have covered SDG 1 to 5. You can watch it. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation. First point, State Cabinet approved water policy in 2022. Second point, promoting decentralized water harvesting so that we can store water locally for irrigation and household purposes. Thereby we can save energy, electricity and resources. Third point, efficient demand management of water through tips, means taxing, incentives, pricing, subsidies. We can reduce wastage of water and improvement in water savings and adoption of water conservation techniques like rainwater harvesting through this tips technique. Fourth point, two schemes has been promoted. One is Amrit scheme, means Atal Mission for Rejuvenation of Urban Transformation. Second one is Karnataka Integrated Urban Water Management Investment Program. It is done with the help of ADB, Asian Development Bank. Next one, SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. First point, Karnataka has promoted Karnataka Renewable Energy and Development Limited for conservation of energy. Also, Cabinet approved renewable energy policy in 2022. Second point, promoting utility business model to transform generation sales to mediator of sales. So there will be an increase in adoption of renewable energy. So there will be local production of energy, and this is connected to the grids for local transmission of electricity. Third point, increasing testing labs and innovation labs for solar sector, such as a scale to give an impetus to solar energy as alternate source of energy. Fourth point, promoting IT application. Example, SCADA. It is used for supplying power uninterruptedly and usage of mini and microgrids in future. Next one, SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. First point, facts about Karnataka economy. Karnataka contributes 40% in IT export of India. Also, Karnataka has been a major player in attracting FDI. Also, State Cabinet approved startup policy in 2022. Second point, development of capital-led growth areas and labor-led growth areas. Capital-led growth areas such as industrial estates. Labor-led growth areas such as construction, textile requires large laborers. Third point, strengthen links between growth centers and farmers moving away from agriculture and providing ad hoc stay arrangement for off-season farm workers. Fourth point, reducing unemployment rate from 4.8% to 1%. Fifth point, creating social infrastructure like health and education through PPP model by funding viability gap and also organizing local investors meet to attract both global as well as local capital. Next one, SDG 9, innovation, infrastructure and industry. Some facts. According to annual survey of industries, Karnataka has around 5.2% of registered factories in India. Also, Karnataka State Highway Infrastructure Project has been supported by ADB. Also, in 2023, Karnataka Road Regulatory and Development Authority is established to develop greenfield projects in PPP mode. Also, in 2021, State Cabinet released R&D policy. Second point, promoting non-motorable transportation like bicycling and then walking, etc. Third point, promoting social and community R&D under CSR fund. Fourth point, promoting R&D. How it can be done? Through tax credit, tax incentives and subsidies. And also India spending just 0.7% of GDP on R&D. This is very SDG 10, reduced inequalities. First point. In 2017, transgender policy is proposed to promote inclusiveness by providing skill development and improving labor force participation rate. Second point, rationalizing district sector outlays and budget allocation on the basis of population, backwardness, and drought. Next SDG is 11. Sustainable cities and communities. Some of the facts. Under joint venture K-Ride between Karnataka government and Ministry of Railways, proposed this suburban rail project of around 148 kilometers in 4 corridors. This has been named Samparka, 4 flowers names. Also, Bengaluru bus priority lanes, targeting 70% model share by 2035. Second point, improving waste processing from 41 to 100%. This is done through household waste management by separating wet and dry waste. Third point, upgrading installed sewage treatment capacity in urban areas from 0.35 to 1 in ratio, that is million liters per day. This is done by creating integrated waste management systems in proportion to garbage generated per day. Fourth point, public transportation first strategy. So, traffic congestion will be reduced and air pollution gets limited and cities are more habitable. Next SDG, SDG 12, responsible consumption and production. Some of the facts, strict implementation of solid waste management rules of 2016. Also, e-waste management rules of 2021. Also, promoting Bureau of Energy Efficiency programs under Energy Conservation Act. Also, usage of solar light and creating awareness among the citizens and education curriculum containing these awareness instructions. Next SDG, climate action. Increasing LED bulb usage from 37.16 to 165 per thousand population. So, greenhouse gas emissions can be reduced. Second point, Environment Management and Policy Research Institute, EMPRI, under Ministry of Environment, enforced State Action Plan of Climate Change 2050. Third point, greenhouse gas of Karnataka is around 4% of Indian GHG emission. Next, SDG, life under water. Some facts. Coastal of Karnataka has length 320 km. Mangroves just cover about 0.26% of mangroves in India. These mangroves provide or acts as bioshield against storms or cyclone, and also prevent landslides. Second point, improve coastal water quality index from 48 to 8. How it's done? Regulating industrial effluent and sewage discharge. Also reducing diesel subsidy. So boats usage will be limited. Third point, strengthen CRZ and involving coastal guard to monitor pollution levels in coastal areas. Fourth point, from 0% to 5% increasing protection of areas underwater by 2030. Fifth point, decrease in rate of subsidy with an increase in fishing intensity. Sixth point, and the last point, according to Government of Karnataka 2018 report, 75% of small scale fishes out of total fishes contributes 15% of total marine fish production. This needs to be increased. Next, SDG 50, life above land. Some facts. 25% of tiger and elephant population are there in Karnataka. Tiger about 570, elephant about 6,000, particularly in Bandipur and Nagarhole. And forest area in Karnataka covers 24%, around 24% of land area of Karnataka. Third point, some schemes. Siri Chandanavana, planting and production of sandalwood. And another one is Hasiru Karnataka, means planting indigenous trees. Also planting roadside to improve greenery. Second point, some policies. National Environment Policy 2006, Agroforestry Policy 2014, Green Highways Policy 2015. Third point, convergence of MG Narega works with territorial forest activities in tiger reserve or national park buffer zones. Next SDG is 16, peace, justice and strong institutions. First point, number of courts needs to be increased from 12.2 to 33.76 per 10 lakh population. Thereby, we can improve judicial infrastructure and indirectly improve justice. Second point, improve police to population ratio from 125 per 1 lakh population according to Ministry of Home Affairs 2020, but UN recommended 250. It has to be increased twofold. Third point, strengthening Lokayukta against corruption. Fourth point, organizing workshops for school teachers about creating awareness on justice, violence, human rights, etc. Fifth point, governance part. Why governance is important? For accountability, responsibility, timely delivery of services, to be citizen centric as well as transparent. Karnataka introduced Sakala Act 2011, and also some of the examples of e-governance are Suvidha for scheme discovery, e-Janma for registering live birth and deaths, Kaveri property registration, and then Kutumba registration of family members. Some of these use blockchain, latest tech.